kuramba tichingodzoka mafunga taenda adzoka futi
tichienda kupi
tichiona tese saka muri kuona blaza akamira mashure kwangwa
yes
nyaya yakapenga vatuka mese maZimbabwe
wakadaro havachateerera
vatara a very valid point we go in circles, we keep going in circles. We're like headless chicken, and since we don't achieve to the maximum. But reason it seems like we lack leadership. We know we've got people who run the government and all that, and I think we depend on those, and we look at them and say, those are the ultimate. But leadership, individual leadership, making ourselves leaders. Why do I have to depend on someone else to lead me instead of me being creative, innovative, stuck? All those other elements that come around it. What actually is leadership? Saka mkoma chimotaura kuti nyanja mutora yakamira semuri kureveka ramchida. Mutuka vanhu da.
No.
Avagone kusumuka.
Aiwa. Kutuka vanhu but it's something that people will not accept, and everybody else will be saying, no. So what I'm saying is we don't take ownership of whatever we do. For example, we were talking about people being intellectuals. They've an abundance of we've got an abundance of resources. We've got an abundance of very educated guys who can take over, but we've got that element of fear of leading other people.
Kwa grade 7.
Aiwa. Chinoitika ndechekuti vanhu vanenge when we talk about a leader, we talk about a leader who's open to ideas. A person who accepts, who say, who take acknowledgement kuti kana atadza, I know you put his hands up and say, oh, panap, I had a different view. Not to kuti atadza, but he had a different view from what was expected, and because the ultimate result in Buddha, inenge siri each expect, because as the leaders, we should actually take ownership of whatever decision we make. It affects the whole society.
But Kiramanje, matter of leading other people.
Yeah.
But in concept and individual leading ourselves, because one thing that initiative. I'll give you an example. Earlier this year in Jumarari, Single Tendera, Kune vanhu vari creative. Don't worry about that. That's not a problem. But kune vamwe vanhu vakagara vari despondent because kunge vapererwa nemazano, kunge vasina zvokuita. But all they need is initiative, lead myself, make myself stand up, and drive myself to try something and do something, create something. Tanga kubuda mbox yokuti ndakamirira umwe munhu kuti azouya kuzondipa idea kuti azouya kuzondudza zvekuita. It's like they're always waiting, continually waiting, still waiting. Achava driver ndiani vanhu ava. Zvaimbondudza pa kuzvileader, kuzvicreate
yakaoma. Boys the smoke when botudza.
Inyaya ye-leadership we don't need people to wait for to follow someone, which is the principle iriko ku Zimbabwe right now.
But I school Zimbabwe chete. Isusu tese maZimbabweans vari muZimbabwe nevasiri muZimbabwe.
Yeah, we wait for other people. We wait for other people to be on the forefront, then we follow. Because that's how we were brought up from the colonialism. Right to independence.
But because
right to independence.
I'll challenge that. I'll tell you where I'll challenge it.
Yes.
Boys Zakaenda Wondo.
Yes.
They were individual leaders. Zakasumuka. Boys Zakasumudza Zaka leader. Zakarwa. They challenged the status quo. Isusu Takakura from 1980. What changed? Chichakachinja. Those guys, leadership, it's not about guys and Wondo. Let's do something about it. Mindset.
You're right. Wakaenda kuhondo anditi. Aona kuti zvinazvisikuita anditi. But when they went to war, I'm not insulting people who went to war, to be honest.
Aiwa, hapana kuinsulta, tingotaura mamiriro akaita zvi.
People vakaenda kundoona kuti zvinhu hazvisi kuita without anyone influencing them, which was a choice for them. I need to defend this.
But
which is wrong.
But do you know during the war times, if your family, for example, let's say my family, you tell out vana vangu havaende kuhondo. Do you know kuti waita outcast in that community?
Yes, yeah, because people didn't understand the concept. The reason why they are going to war, because you have a neighbor who doesn't know, who is having everything, right?
I think they understood it, and what happened was leadership. It ceased to exist since 1980. By that time, we had people who had the guts, who had the creativity, who were, they were not restrained by anything. I think we are restrained in our thinking.
But let's look at
solution has to come from someone else.
Let's look at South Africa, Botswana, Mozambique, UK, America. Are the individuals in those countries showing leadership?
Yes. Look, for example, South Africa, Julius Malema. No leadership. You just need, as individuals, it doesn't matter what level you are. You need someone to just stand up and say, to do something about. That's leading. And it will go on. So you lead yourself first before you think of leading anybody else. Lead yourself to being creative. And it's not always about being rebellious. About just a rebellion. Just lead yourself to being creative. Lead yourself to stand up and say, but I'm going to create a job. People are going to buy supplies from me. I'm going to create it. I'm going to think. I'm going to do. To be fair, my town, everyone tries to do the same thing. It's about doing something about the situation.
Because they are hopeless. The reason why, and I don't mind, you're retarded.
Those are two towers. So there are reasons for everything, and those are two towers. No particular. What created that situation? That's the question.
Because we were used to follow.
I think in any problem we
were used to follow. And those who started it took advantage of that.
That's the point. That's the point. That is the point.
That's the truth.
That's the point.
Substantiate your claim.
Yes.
What are you going to do about this? Because the opportunity.
Earlier on, we talked about it. We said those who are already in there have taken this opportunity, and they know there's nobody who's got the guts to stand up and say this is wrong. Can something be done about it?
But
and the environment, whoever says no to my idea, the system should be eradicated.
Silence.
I'll tell you a story.
Word one and under identify the system.
Yes.
Our system, those are natural. Before 1980, Papani system yangaripo, although system yangari oppressive in a certain way, it still created opportunity for these guys. Buda munyika vakanodzidza somewhere vakaita vamwe vakanodzidza Fort Hare vamwe vakanodzidza Harvard vamwe Oxford. There are those opportunities.
Vakaenda kuFort Hare ndovaziva.
Tinotitaura zvakaitwa nevanhu. But vanhu vakabuda. Saka kuzotanga kune vamwe vakasina kudzoka. But vanhu vavo vakasumuka and to do something about a situation. But to reiterate here, it's not always about rebellion. It's about creating, it's about having capital, creating an environment that stimulates social activity, economic activity, political activity, and the rest of the interactivities that are there.
Yeah.
And
When
so-
you come back, those people who are leading and who have created a system in which people should follow us and they went to Oxford, they went to Fort Hare, they went to Africa and
Vamwe vanoenda paUniversity of Rhodesia.
and they went kuhondo kusawa and after they've acquired their education.
But process yekuenda
Havana
kuhondoka inini ndikutoti it was a result of
vision. But
Ndakatoda kuenda kuhondo zvikanzi zviri mufana.
let me finish. When they went and ane degree rake ari kuenda and haana kwakaita practice to put what he learned and into practice.
After hondo
Adzoka and
Is that element of yekuda kungodzvinyirira iripo?
yeah, because haana kwakaenda unoita like you
but
take a doctor,
vakabva kuhondo havana kuitwa rehabilitation.
yeah, havana kuitwa rehabilitate, but you take a doctor went to war. He went to war before even practice. He doesn't know how to operate. He doesn't know. Zvaakadzidza ari papractical pabasa pachikoro. Zvaakadzidza ari pachikoro. That's what he continued kugara ainazvo. When he came back, system yange yaita advanced handidi. Kuti achiisa that system, achiita catch up with that system. Haana kuita willing to go back kuti anoita understand, but he remained with this system.
The problem was
he kept that
this
system,
system
used it now to
the system did not allow them to integrate them vakabva kuhondo, because these people were coming kuhondo one my stresses like an TSP traumatic stress disorders.
Yes.
And it saka vakatopiwa demob vapiwa mari yedemob yanga yakawandisa and they were just enjoying the money.
Mari airape psychology.
Airapisa psychology. That therapy has to go on.
Inotenga
But kana vakambodhura munhu muchitiza achirwa magumbo ungasara musoro zvino musoro zvinoda kurapwa.
Saka, how does this round up and take us back to effectively to a society of followers? Saka, are you saying it is nezvakaitika izvozvo patakazwana independent? Although vanhu vakaita kunotirwira kuti vatisunungure, kutosunungura kwavo was done in a structure yekuti ukasanditeerera hausununguki.
Let me come on this one. Ndo pacho patukutaura kuti when they went kuhondo, the system that they had kuhondo was when the leader says this,
yes,
you don't argue.
Manje regani mutaura zvisense vamwe vazhinji vawirira, saka just put it out there. Murutaura kuti nyika yedu tikurana like a military state.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's how it is being run. That's how it is being run.
Saka, how do we change that to create a democratic mindset in our society? A society never vane
That
free mind.
yakuda manje vanhu varichi manje.
takangomira matipromise out.
The system now requires people vanechi vari open-minded, who have actually been integrated in society and who knows when change is needed. They've got to implement my changes.
Saka example, Nepatiri.
Huh?
Say, Nepatiri as a country, change inodiwa pati.
Okay, before you go to talk about change, we are trying to say zvinhu zvatoda kutaura ndezvekuti like he was saying kuti kana pakuda change or whatever we want to do ndokunge if our leaders we are being egoistic in terms of our elite leadership, because egoistic munhu anoda zvinhu zvake anongoti kana zvakandinakira. That's it.
That's
society.
Like hero worshipping.
Yeah.
Hero
Society.
I'm going to culture with biggers.
Yes.
No example I know about munhu ukamira pabhoto store akazembera so uchirova pangi kana uchiti as long as zvako zviri kukuita.
Saka audi kunzwa anyone anoposa chi iye who is feeding you.
But that's fine. Iwewe manje, why isusu anapovu? Tangutora language yemo. Isusu anapovu. Why do we accept to worship vanhu vasingatipe development? Say tichibvuma kuti umwe munhu biggers Instead, you miles. That's fine. But Mira on Mangwana, I'll be doing better than you.
Because he's restricted to access those resources that make him big.
But that is an excuse.
No, it's not. It's not an excuse because
Master capital. Is that not an excuse? Can you not create your own
resources,
successes and resources?
You can.
Without the tangible
you can create capital from nothing.
Exactly.
But if the environment is not conducive, can you make use of that?
Yes.
We can
How?
spend
You
all
can change
day.
the environment.
How?
I will say this with it. It is up to you to accept what's happening or to defy it. It's up to you to pay that bribe or not. It's up to you to take the pain that goes without for not paying that bribe. I'm jail for 3 days. It's up to you to take that and as a sacrifice. I like convenience. No for $5, but uchiva mararo kwenda kwa mtare wena 17 ma roadblock. Uchabada ma $5. It's up to you to tell that this all right and then kwa mtare kwa. Saka tikadaro as a society we defy the immoral activities of society. Tachinja.
Well, these people, when they liberated the country, and they adopted it and created a culture of we adopted, we liberated.
Yes.
So
and no one else.
No one else. You listen to what we say. If you want to enjoy, you listen to what we say. If you don't, then you lose out.
Yes.
Which is the culture which is already now.
Saka what it is attack recognize or
it has killed.
That is what has killed the
economy.
Yes.
Saka all right kana zvataka recognize. Isusu tiri pana patese tukutaura semna tukuwira tukunzwisisa tukuziya zviri kuitika. Zvatiri kurecognize all right atina kuliberate vana vakazviliberate ivo havana. What are you going to do to lead yourself out of that?
That's where it comes by where revolution now. Release ourselves from that bondage.
But that is stronger. Let's be careful about use of words. Discussion edu. No, it's okay. Use any word you want, but let's just be clear to what context we're using it in.
Yeah.
So say for example, revolutionize. Vana vakaenda hondo vakatenwana namao vanovafuka revolution yavo yavanhu nekurwisana nekuti isusu maybe we're talking economic revolution, we are talking just changing the way we do things without actually physically harming people or getting. Saka let's be clear about use of language because the context is not going to change. So I'm not saying
no. I understand. Yeah,
that's through cyber.
Someone who is
it's just pachedu.
Anongopindira kunzwa nyaya anofunga kuti yakutaurwa revolution yekunobata but yapo manje haisisiri yekuenda kuhondo
yekunovangu vakapiswa neporridge.
Aiwa hatichada izvozvo takuda manje yemind yekuti we say no to corruption. We say no to corruption and then test tikati no to corruption and those 17 roadblocks dzinobviswa.
Those are nice. And it's up to us to either accept Kuchichi. Yes. Will that change the way things are? Will it change for the better or will it change for the worse?
An example of that guy who had 15 buses, brand new buses. For you to get a license to operate, you give me 2 buses.
Enterprising. Hakuna mabasa. Transport hakuna mabasa. Muna achaga ma inputs. Vanhu vemsangano. Zvashandirwa nomwe munhu vakudo piece of cake.
Mune movie inonzi The Godfather.
Give me 2 buses.
Godfather.
Give me out of 15.
Good point.
Give me 2 buses.
Good point. Yatarwa panapa. Theo Godfather. But you know vakiri vakati New York. Kana takuda kutaura zvinhu. Vamwe munhu.
Yes. No, that's how.
Tine zvakawanda. Pane zvakawanda zvamuchadzidzira.
If you look at this, what is happening? It emanated from those.
They learn from the best.
They learn from the best, but they're not utilizing the ideas properly.
They learned, but they didn't understand.
Yes.
For example, is
Because some of those people vachisiya kuti mangwana we should let's leave this person to manufacture more so that tomorrow we'll get more. But manje system iriko manje it doesn't think of tomorrow. It only thinks of today. And then if my pockets are full now, that's it. If you finish it, that's your problem.
It's not coming mix into
which is the reason why it's difficult kuti omba wati munhu chibva because zvinhu zvaanazvo handiti is for today and tomorrow.
Zvekubva hazvina basa munozva kuti chii
saka
nezvinhu zvako zvaunazvo izvozvo
haasina opportunity yekuramba
nezvinhu zvaunazvo izvozvo you can create activity.
Yes, they live by the day because it's head to mouth.
Aivomirai vanhu vani you can be in charge of economy, you can be in charge of businesses or whatever. But when you don't need to go and say to IMBA, you create market competition. You compete with that guy. Do something that will take that guy out of the business and do it better. Because in leadership, we are always there to say we want displacement. It's not about displacement.
We want someone who can offer better things.
No. Better something to what you are running.
Exactly.
I was reading in today. One of the top people said, for sure, we made a blunder when we introduced the lead reform. And they are the beneficiaries. And he was saying, we didn't put systems. If we allocate a person land, what is the person going to do with that land?
Yeah, problem.
No, it's not about title.
We want
it's another topic.
That's another topic.
If you look at what destroyed agriculture, you have got green vegetation, your crops are flourishing, about to. Then over iwewo muridzi wakaita target
but those zvakaitwa kana macolonialist nomatora vakati
usaisa mugara alright
waida kuita
the last key
waida kuita mezi yako yange iri kunoharvesta imwe yaita silage kunofida mombe imwe yaita kunoita crash handire but ari kuuya haana that concept yekuti
all those things.
Yeah, because angoona chibage chakuibva chiri green, he calls it takes over. He doesn't know the use of that chibage. Angomira chibage chibve
kana chaibva odzvara fojo.
Aiwa, chaibve anobva atora instead yekuita kuusa masystems anga ari mukudhara ekuita
continuity.
Yes.
Hapana.
To summarize that, one thing that is useful when we go into our economics, our business and farming industry, whatever, one thing that's in the mindset is the ability to scale up inputs. We are happy to find and give someone to go and produce.
Scale up inputs,
turning into a mass market type of product. We are subsistence type of mind. Subsistence type of mind is ndigari machibage kusere gari ndendesa kuti gayo. Atifunge kuti ndigari machibage changu akufida nyika ino. Not only do I want to feed this country, I want to feed the continent. I want to feed the world. So farming has to be millions of subsistence. The subsistence. Saka ndopati kusara kumashure.
Right. Kwakuvira panapa kwakunaya. Selisina lapha izulu. So sesisima khonapha sizahlangana njalo ngesikhathi esizayo.
Tukuphinda mdeni. Dzima. Chap.